asking you to give it over.
Obviously, you need to learn the law.
What you're about to witness is one of the most textbook examples of a citizen standing their ground, knowing their rights, and calmly dismantling an officer's entire approach in real time. Now, this isn't your average shouting match. This man doesn't run, doesn't escalate, and doesn't get aggressive. Instead, he does something most people don't. He leans on the Constitution, asserts his rights clearly, and doesn't back down, even when the officer tries to throw the usual pressure tactics his way. From the Fifth Amendment to the Fourth, from the concept of articulable, reasonable suspicion to the legality of ID demands, this guy was locked in. He wasn't just quoting laws, he understood them. And the cop? Well, let's just say that this officer wasn't ready to meet someone who actually read the handbook. Watch closely, because this isn't just entertaining, it's education.
I don't answer questions. I like to exercise.
Why you're refusing to cooperate?
I'd like to exercise. I'm cooperating. I'm walking to my car. I'm leaving. That's exactly what you told me to do. What are you doing right now? Exactly.
Well, like I said
I'd like
earlier,
to exercise my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, if that's okay.
You're not being charged with a crime.
Huh?
You're not being charged with a crime.
Well, exactly. So why would you want to make me insecure of my houses, paper, property, effects, and things? Why would you want to make me insecure of my persons and violate my Fourth Amendment right? I'm leaving this place. That's what you told me to do, right?
Hang on just a sec. Can you advise if you signal 30? Sorry, I got a lot of background. Didn't hear that. All right.
I'm curious on why you're further harassing me.
Well, because I needed to determine whether or not you were who I thought you were. Because there is an individual with your name who was involved with, I believe it was St. Joe Police, and is possibly pending charges. So I needed to determine whether or not you had any warrants out for your arrest.
Well, I'd like to not further your investigation.
Well, you can be charged with obstructing justice at that point.
Well, obstruction is a physical act.
It's not.
It actually is.
So
by law,
it's
obstruction. At
this point, all right. Unless you're going to give me ID to confirm this.
I'm not going to you're making me insecure of my house's paper, property, effects, and things. If you violate my Fourth Amendment right, I'm going to sue you
and
your department.
You to willingly give me your ID.
I've not broken any laws.
I'm not forcing you to do that.
I've not broken any laws. Is that
What does
correct?
that have to do with me asking you to give you ID?
Because you don't have to have articulable, reasonable suspicion to gain my ID.
No, I don't. I'm asking you to give it over.
You have to
willingly identify yourself. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you're trying to violate my Fourth Amendment right.
I'm not trying to violate any rights. If I was trying to violate your rights, I would be doing it by force. My supervisor isn't working today.
Okay.
I'm the only officer. I'm in charge.
Well, you should get a supervisor before you make a mistake.
I don't have a supervisor working right now. I am the supervisor.
I would highly suggest you go above yourself before you make a mistake, because you walked over here to harass me and asked me to gain my ID. I've not broken any laws. I've not even been trespassed from this place.
I'm not forcing you to get
You threatened me with arrest if I didn't leave, which is a violation of my rights in general. That is assault, sir. You have a gun and a badge, maybe the badge, but that gun, that's an assault. You have no legal and lawful reason to tell me to leave this place. They never trespassed me from this place.
I guarantee you that's not assault.
Well, I can tell you right now that if I use my words in a threatening manner, that's assault. If I touch you, that's battery. That's assault and battery. So obviously you need to learn the law.
So at this point, you've agreed to leave. I suggest you do that.
Well, I suggest you to stop harassing me further.
So
an armed gunman. You actually have no legal and lawful authority to even make me leave at this point.
Let's get in your car and go.
You understand?
Okay, let's not make this any worse than it needs to be.
Well, I would highly suggest you not make it any worse for yourself, because this is documented on video.
I understand.
We're having a conversation. I wish you had a body camera, because you should. You have a spot for it to hold yourself legally accountable for what you're doing right now.
Yep.
Because if you violate my rights and take me to jail, I'm going to sue you.
I understand
and
that,
your
that
department.
is your right.
So
my
I
body
highly
is charging right
so
now.
I highly suggest you walk away, sir, because you have no legal and lawful authority to make me do anything at the moment.
I'm not trying to make you do anything.
You have no ARS. You have no articulable, reasonable suspicion to do anything to me. What you're saying to me is unlawful in what you're doing. I've not broken the law. I've not been disorderly. I've not done anything wrong here. You're coming and harassing
So,
me. You walked.
are you
you
leaving
walked
or not?
over 100 yards to come here and harass me and try to gain my
Are you
information.
leaving or not?
I said I was going to leave. You are hindering that ability for me to
I'm
do so.
not hindering anything. I've not
Don't come over here like
physically
a
obstructed you.
tyrant.
Are you leaving or no? Or do you want to keep talking?
Do you have legal and lawful authority to even make me leave?
I'm not talking about making you leave. I'm asking you if you're
Sir,
leaving.
you're trying to exercise your authority and usurp authority over me, a
I'm
free
sure you
man,
wish that was the case.
a free
but
man
you're
in
not
this
nearly
place.
as
But
oppressed
you,
as you think you
you
are.
threatened me with arrest over there for
I
disorderly
told you what
when
would
I've
happen
not
if
been
you refused to leave.
But I've not been disorderly. You're assaulting my
So-
persons because you have no
Are
legal
you
and lawful
are you
authority.
leaving or no?
Why are you standing here?
Are you leaving or no?
Why
Yes
are
or no?
how are you serving the public
Are
right
you
now?
leaving? Yes or no?
I told you that I was going to leave,
All right,
but
then
I
let's
don't.
go.
But I don't have to leave.
Let's go.
Sir. No, you wanted to come have this conversation with me. I don't have to leave.
No,
this
I'm
place.
bored of this conversation because you're not nearly as cool or smart as you think
But you
are.
understand.
So it's time to
I
go.
want you to know, as a public servant that works for me, I don't work for you.
No, I work for the people of the Berrien Springs.
I am the people, right? I am
Berrien
the
Springs.
people. No, you work for the people. You swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution to therefore protect my rights. You serve the public by protecting
Yes,
individual
and I am
rights.
employed by
and
the
what
people
you're
of
doing
Berrien
right
Springs and
now,
Orinoco Township.
trying to come over here
Okay.
and harass me to gain my
And you are
property,
disrupting
my papers.
peaceful
I'm not
execution of
disrupting
this fair.
anything. There is
All right.
nobody around here. There is absolutely nobody around here.
So are you ready to go?
You are disrupting my day by harassing
Okay.
me and coming over here. Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's it. If you continue
God
to
bl-
bother the staff at the fair, I will arrest you.
I'm not.
You understand that?
Sir, I have never bothered them at all. I was trying to have a communication with them. She got upset, slammed the door. God bless you, sir. Have a great day.
Little Jackie man, we need to go to jail today.
Jackboot thug pigs.
And there it is. A citizen walks away, no cuffs, no ID handed over, and no rights surrendered, all because he knew the law, stayed calm, and didn't let fear do the talking. Let's be clear, not every encounter with law enforcement goes this way, but this clip is a perfect example of how education is your strongest armor in any interaction with authority. This man invoked his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, reminded the officer of his Fourth Amendment protections, and even called out the concept of obstruction being misused, because words alone aren't a crime and asserting your rights isn't resisting. And the cop? He walked up expecting a pushover and got handed a legal masterclass. Instead, you could almost feel the shift, the moment when the officer realized he was in way over his head. So what can we take from this? Know your rights, stay respectful but firm, and document everything. Because sometimes, just knowing the law is enough to protect yourself from those who don't. Hit the like button if you think this officer needed a refresher on the Constitution, and drop a comment.